Of course, this is another brilliant one. Probably already 7 days into the month of March 2024, and a lot of stories are probably coming right there. But of course, one of the interesting is the Africa Games that is ongoing right now. All teams representing already getting in for that, and that is one of the biggest things one would be talking about. But all in all, I want to say that you are watching this from West Nile Television. You catch and of course drop your comments throughout the session that will be going right here. Now of course, if you look at the biggest talking point probably we want to talk about the Bombers that of course have sent in 7 representatives that will be representing Uganda at large, and this will be of course these boys or the boxers will be showing or giving us the raising up the flags of that is the country I'm talking about, Uganda. Now in that you also do have the PAL, Victoria Pals who have also shown their move through India, and a lot of things that probably will be coming up right there. Now of course concerns all over the social handles in different aspects about Charles Livingstone Babazi not turning up for the game yesterday for Viper Sports Club in the Uganda Cup, and of course we'll be giving you all the topics and top stories coming in from the Uganda Cup that went on yesterday. Owen Ezaga is my name, and of course the UEFA Champions League was one big action that also went in there. But of course joining me is Susie Linda. Good afternoon, Susie.
Good afternoon, Owen, and good afternoon, viewer. 2 to 3, we are already in the house to give you, of course, what we know how to do best, and that is sports. You have already given out, but I want to also give out a few updates from the result, the 4th League Division games that are ongoing there in a rapid form, I should say, because if you check into most of the DFS, you'll actually get to see that most of the DFS have completed in there is their 4th League Division games, and they're waiting for there is an overall winner to join in into there is the zonal. Meanwhile, down here in Arua City, there is a game day today. We'll be giving in some of course, some of the fixtures that will come through. But up front, Airfield has a game today at home, and Airfield, of course, you all know they sit at top of the table. There is for 4th Division games. Arua Airfield, they now have 28 points into there is their bags. If they win today's game, automatically they will be excluded in from there is the remaining fixtures. They await direct zonals. They will not even go for playoffs. That is quite a very good one for Airfield. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams get to, of course, just wait out with the rest to see whether if they can finish behind the Airfield to join in the rest of the teams to zonals.
Now, the Uganda Boxing Federation has come up with a very big statement coming in right there. Of course, 7 of the boxers from the Uganda Bombers will be representing that is the country of Uganda that will be pushing it right into the upcoming African Games. And this is after we did see the Hippos and of course the under-20 boys that also went through to see that they get themselves into the travel, and this contingent of the boxers will also be traveling according to the report coming in there. Remember, the delegation for the Hippos has been spearheaded by the man by the names of Dan Obote, who of course is someone from Liro just here, and he is the delegation. And of course, according to his confirmation, he did say that the team arrived really on time, and of course they are ready for the encounters. We'll be giving you some of the games or some of the teams that probably these different sections of sports disciplines will be facing all the teams that have traveled in there. But of course, for today, we did also get a report about yesterday's statement about the Bombers that the Boxing Federation did send 7 of the players or the boxers who will be there, and this include of course Tumusime Innocent, who of course weighs 48 kg, and of course Mulungi Kasim, who weighs 57 kg. You have of course Amoko Innocent, who weighs 63.5 kg, and not forgetting of course Chibira Owen, who of course weighs 67 kgs, yes, and Semudu Zamil who weighs 71 kgs, and Ndagire Sharua, who weighs 57 kgs. Namutebi Irina will be another lady featuring, of course, weighing 63 kgs. And of course, the two coaches who will be going with the team include Handa Patrick and Nsubuga Juma, who are going to be, of course, making sure that the flag of Uganda is raised in the Africa Games. Of course, 7 selected players, boxers, who will be representing. How much do you know about every boxer in out of the 7?
Basically, the boxers that have actually been selected out to represent are quite very good ones, and simply because this selection is not just done on maybe someone waking up in the morning and then you're selected to go and to represent and all that. No, these selections are, of course, they come up from of course hard work and training, and then a few of the boxing fixtures that actually one gets to indulge in, and then basically from there in is when actually you're targeted and selected to go in to represent a few, you're selected to go and represent in a few of those, of course, big tournaments that come up front. And I've loved the way, by the way, Arua City is taking, there is boxing, and if you look at some of the boxers in Arua, you literally see that these guys are very passionate about the boxing bit of it. You always find them doing training and all that. There are always press conferences, the stakeholders are always following in keenly. So basically it's quite a good one, and it's literally quite good to also follow in some of the names that have appeared this time around, because there are people that have been there twice and there are people that are yet going there in for the very first time. So basically I would say that we should all come out and support them and follow them, because basically they've always done us proud.
Or a very big one, of course, that will be coming. Yes, of course, the cream de la cream from Uganda will be the names that you can see in there. The last time you see this, or you saw the players making amends, was in the Uganda Boxing Federation organized tournaments that was going on in Kampala. And of course, some of the big names that have done a lot have been chosen to make sure that this is what exactly they need to push and make sure that it goes on right there now. Of course, if you talk about Nagadias who have really tried so much to push that is the country in the sports discipline over boxing, you would say yes, this is the time. But of course, we saw last time when of course one of the boxers who was sent for Olympics in Japan, who was deported after, of course, 1 or 2 issues of forgery and the rest that came through. But this time around, I think it's all about how do we push it, how do we make this go through right there. So it's a very big one, and of course a challenging moment for Uganda. I want to thank the Boxing Federation for that, is at least getting the cream in the Bombers to go and represent the country in the Africa Games that is going on right, of course, in a few days right there. But not only that, there are also a couple of different sports sectors that have tried their level best to push it through, including, of course, the Uganda Hippos, who have also eyed the positive start against Nigeria. Now, that's one big thing that you will want to talk about. Of course, a game that is set to start today, March 7th, you will be seeing the Uganda Hippos taking on Nigeria at Accra Ghana Sports Stadium, and this game will be at 11 p.m. East African time. You are going to be seeing the national team, or the men's national team under 20, who of course are called the Hippos, are looking forward for that. And according to that is their coach Moribier Kwaso said that this is the time that we are making a return to that is the Africa Games after, of course, the absence since 2011. So they will be looking forward to see that this is the time, and they need to of course, after previously disappointment in that is Maputo, Mozambique, where of course they failed to go past that is the group stages. They are looking forward to see that, and this is the right time that they need to push in there. I'm talking about the Uganda Hippos, who are right there. Nigeria, on the other hand, probably you would see has been boosted by the rich history of competition, and Uganda will be facing this Nigeria team. The team tried for the national team. You did see them go very well, but this time around they are also going to be making sure that here is a good one, because if you look at the senior team doing well, that means their junior team should be one of the biggest, or the under 20 right there. What will be your overview of the game today?
Today, of course, 11 p.m. Uganda will be facing there is a Nigeria. It's the Hippos, the under-20s. Of course, I will not be seeing there is the senior team taking part in this. Basically, if you look at the squad that recently went through, it's quite a very rich squad. You'd basically see that most of the players that have been summoned on merit, and these have been all active players in their various leagues or their various clubs that actually they play in for. Unlike the usual or the previous summonings over there is the senior team, where literally you used to get someone summoned maybe from an outside team, from an international team, where even the person is not active. The coaches don't take in their time to actually find out whether this person has a play time in their club, or this person is still shining like they used to do back home in the country. All they know is this person plays internationally at international level, so basically the person is good as an added for the team for an international game. So this, I would like to say that most of the people that have been summoned in the Hippo squad that actually left 2 days back to honor in these fixtures. To me, Owen, I would like to say that the squad is very rich, and we should be expecting something from Nigeria, at least a win, although it's going to be very hard. And Team Uganda, by the way, has another dangerous fixture coming in. The first 3 fixtures that the Hippos has is quite very dangerous for them. They're starting today. There is a 7th up against Nigeria, and then on 11th, of course, they will be playing. There is a Senegal, and then I will see them also tussling it out with South Sudan on there is a 15th match. Quite a very terrible lineup, I would say, for the boys Hippos.
Uganda will be aiming to mimic its, of course, participation, and of course its best placement of, if you remember, 4th in the 1999. That of course went in the right way for Uganda, but this is going to be acting like a return leg for, that is, the two sides, because Uganda in the recent 2000, of course it was 2011, no, 2023, under 20, you did see Uganda, of course, being beaten by Nigeria 1-0, and this time round Uganda will be looking forward to see that they needed really this a chance to make sure that they progress and of course revenge against Nigeria. Modi Biekwa, so the head coach, did say also one or two things. He said things have changed. With due respect, they give respect to, that is, Team Nigeria, but things have changed. This is not the time that they are going to be expecting, of course, to be loosely or play the games as minor as they will be, but things have changed, so they will be looking forward to see that they get themselves through to the games. So we're expecting a very good display, but to me, Uganda needs to do a lot to make sure that they surpass the Flying Eagles, because they have been one of the sides that is a headache in the African football. That's just because they prepare very, very much. Uganda started its training sessions later, just because they were going in for the Africa Games. We saw in Uganda there were challenges of whether we shall go or whether we shan't go, and those are some of the big things that have been happening right at Uganda. Now, Uganda possessing and pushing everything big and better means that they will achieve moments to see that they get into the next level. Yes, there are a couple of games like the hosting team Ghana is also still there for you to make sure that you get maybe yourself in, and outside that is the hoster, the participating teams and their sport in, that is the event, by of course reaching the quarterfinals in that is 2023 under 20 qualifiers. Now you did see that's how Uganda pushed it right through there. Now the current roster fixture will be promising, and today talents such as of course Patrick Jonah Kakande from that is Sports Club Villa, Ibrahim Juma from that is CD Leganes, that's where he came in from. He has been called Alain Oyeruth, who of course is one of the West Nilers right here. He will be also making, recently moved to that is Greece, and he will be making sure that he moves with the he moved with the team. Probably you'll be seeing them performing well, and of course the Bruno Bunyaga, Alpha Sali of Express will all be in action to see that they get themselves right there. What else should we say? Because Ladan, the boss of that is Team Nigeria, is also saying it's not going to be an easy fixture, because they need really to show the world that it is the time to display what is required. So we shall be waiting to see how exactly the team will be, but because of that, it's one of the biggest thing that is pushing in there. There is also also not only that, because there's the team of that is the Pals, or the Victoria Pals, that will also be traveling, by the way, and they're also ready, and they already ready for the game. So they are looking into which team probably they will be tussling it out to. But in the fixture here, if I'm to check, you would see that the Victoria Pals have also shown interest, because they will be starting their opener against Kenya. Now, this is a neighbor affair that will be coming in right there, and this is going to be time to see whether the Victoria Pals will be progressing in there.
The Victoria Pals, of course, are looking into, there is making a history, a work down there into, there is a 2024. Of course, someone could be wondering out there, when we're saying Victoria Pals, actually exactly what we mean. We have, of course, boarded the plane, and we are off from football to, there is a cricket, and it could be clearly good to settle in. There is the air. Cricket Cranes, there is qualified for 2024 T20 World Cup. There is in the West Slides, and basically the Victoria Pals are crossing in to play. There is Kenya this time around. Basically, is something quite a very good one. We've already seen the Victoria Pals going riots over. There is the opponents in all aspects, in all fixtures that they go into. So basically, when it is Victoria Pals that we are discussing, trust me, there is always not a lot to say, apart from putting in mind that once the Victoria Pals cross into any other league, it's always a win for them, unless otherwise. And even if this is at school level and all that, so this time around, are they crossing in to play? There is the neighbors Kenya. I am seeing a very positive winner for. There is our owner, the Victoria Pals from Uganda in the cricket.
Of course, they are out of the 13 teams that are going to be right there. Yes, Uganda is amongst them, representing both the women and the men's team, to see that they get themselves right there. So they have chances to see that they lure it out by the hardest contest. And of course, query is about how they will be managing. Recently, we did see the cricket team, of course, putting in a bid for every person, designer, to make for them, of course, their kit, who would be, of course, making for them, design for them, or put for them a design of their kit. And of course, I did see very many people showing interest, including, of course, the graphics guy, Mr. Merinda, who also really did put forward to see that in it. But of course, outstanding. We shall be waiting to see how this comes in right there. The games are kick-starting today. The two probably teams, if you look at them, last met at that is Kwiboka Memorial in Rwanda last year in, of course, June. Renew June. That's where they had their moments, and it was a very, very big one, where the rivalry was a very big one. Names like Konsi Aweko, and names like, of course, yes, Konsi Aweko, the captain of the team, say that they are very ready, and of course, are upset for that is the games that will be pushing in right there. So it's a very, very interesting fixture that will be coming right today in today's encounter. Now, leaving that there's going to be a very big encounter also, in that is the Uganda Cup today. As yesterday, we did see also encounters from different teams like Vipers that went through. Today, there's going to be that game between Pakwach Youngsters and, of course, the team of DAV FC of Masindi. Now, Pakwach team has traveled up to, that is DAV, and they will be looking forward to see that the games go on right there. A tough encounter, but Pakwach is very, very happy to go there, and they say that give on, you know, the team of DAV FC. So let's wait and see whether they will be getting that. But Pakwach, according to the performance in the regional league, according to their performance into, that is the Uganda Cup this edition, do we see them pick that away win, because all their games have been at home?
Pakwach Youngsters up against, there is a DAV in Masindi. Pakwach, I would say that basically I'm seeing Pakwach go past, there is a DAV, because one, Pakwach these days even does not do a lot of preparations, does not do a lot of trainings into, there is the regional league. Remember, Pakwach is a side that actually features in, there is the Nyagaki Zone, a regional league. On the table, they sit in position number 2. A few history and background about, there is a Pakwach Youngsters. They sit in position number 2 with a points gap of 2 ahead of, there is the table leaders, by the Black Angels that sit on top of the table, meaning a game of 1, of course, where Paidha loses, brings in Pakwach up front. On top of there is a Paidha Black Angels. And if you have been following closely Pakwach youngsters in there is their journey in Stanbic Uganda Cup, you literally get to see that all their games have been home, just like my colleague Owen said, all the games that they have been home, be it against a giant team, be it against any other team, Pakwach youngsters has always gone past. And initially, these games had been in such a way that the team that actually plays in a bigger league travels to the team that plays in a lower league. So that's why we've been seeing all Pakwach having most of its games at home at there is a match in Pakwach down there. And this time around, they are traveling. Basically, one, it could be part of tourism for them, yes, but all they've gone there is, of course, for a very huge fixture to see to it that if they can, of course, get themselves a slot to cross into there is the quarter finals. And we shouldn't be surprised if really Pakwach goes past these boys, because one, if you look into the squad of there is a Pakwach, there are no injuries in that very squad there, and the team already traveled ahead of that game today, and everyone seems to be very prepared, and they all seem prepared to have traveled in there for a win. And I am seeing in that win coming in for Pakwach. Much as Dav will be home, there is also a very huge fan base of over the great Aluru people in Pakwach that have followed in their players down in Masindi. So the Masindi people shouldn't be surprised thinking maybe they're going to win in this game based on the 12-man squad. No, the Pakwach people have also flooded Masindi, ready to support their team to see to it that they get themselves a slot into there is the Uganda Cup quarterfinals.
Both teams are regional league clubs that will be, of course, making the encounter through to see that any team that wins here will join Pajule Lions as one of the lower league teams right there, because Pajule Lions was also one of the teams that went through faster into that is the quarterfinals. And now we're waiting to see what will this what will this signal be to any team that will be coming right there, because it's one of the biggest games league, I should say, because a team that gets up to the semi-finals or maybe to the finals, the winner will be representing Uganda in the Sekafa tournament. So it's one of the biggest leagues or tournaments that you shouldn't joke with. And Pakwach is moving on well. We did see for last season, we did see Jumantown Council go up to that is the finals, yeah, and of course they were ejected right there. Now this is one big encounter we're talking about. In big league, it's only Police that is left, by the way, into that is for the Uganda Cup, and we're expecting a lot from that is the teams from the top tier. Now, of course, teams that have gone in there include Vipers, KCCA, Chitara, Bull, and Net Football Club. And yesterday, we did see Vipers winning this game, so they have also advanced. Now, we're waiting for the last slot for the semi-finals that will be coming, for the quarter-finals right there, who would be playing against what, and of course, that is one thing. But I can confirm to you, a stadium that I've ever been is Katushabe. A very nice, smooth, of course, off the town of Masindi, Katushabe Stadium, where, of course, Lady Dove FC also does their games. Yes, if you've ever followed the women football. Now, this is a pitch that has it is hidden, and you may not really see fans, but the fans come from I don't know which angles, and they always come. That is one. Two, it's a smooth, soft ground that you can enjoy your game in, green. But of course, I'm seeing a tight game for that is Pakwach. It's a tough game for them because of one home advantage for the Dove FC. They have been a very good together team. Pakwach has been a good side. Yes, I know. They are going to give a lot of competition to the team of Dove FC. But again, in this Uganda Cup, you could expect, to me, Dove FC are qualifying for this game. The game is starting at 4 p.m. Yeah, we shall be waiting to witness. But to me, my cards go to that is Dove FC, not Pakwach youngsters, because of what exactly will be coming in there. I've followed their game. If you look at what exactly Pakwach has done, he has eliminated Uganda Premier League side Giant. That is Watiso Giants in the previous game, which ended 2-0, a game that they played home. And this time around, having a feel of away is another one. But if you look at that is the team of Dove, they advanced through that is penalty shootouts. I remember they played against Young Elephants of that is a big league entity, of course, last on the table, trying to push it away. they advanced, and through that beating Young Elephants. So the two sides have tested Alisa. The other one has tested a big league tire, and the other one is tested a fast tire, which is the Elite League in Ugandan football. Now that's one big thing. But Vipers yesterday were without their head coach, of course, Charles Livingston Babazi, after winning their game yesterday against the Iganga side. Now, if you look at this team, they had all what it meant, but we went to Vipers' Twitter handles and the social handles. They were like, Charles Livingston Babazi is sick, and very many are doubting whether it's true. I don't know whether you're also doubting that, because he has been a journeyman.
Initially, if you follow in closely the stories that have always been coming in about there is Charles Babazi Livingston, you'd literally accept the current story that has come up, because every other rumor there has always been circulating about him initially a given time turns out to be very true. And a lot of people term him as a journeyman. Wherever there is money, I expect Babazi to move in there. But I really don't know what could propel his short-term leave at there is a Vipers, if at all the stories are very true. And I would love to believe in this, because initially when Babazi was still at Arua Hill, we started getting in rumors over him being, of course, linked with the move to somewhere. And over the time, we just gave it a few weeks for the rumor to cook, to get ready. And after that, boom, every other person was of course brought into the table over Vipers unveiling Babazi. And rumors also has it that for the fact that he wasn't there yesterday in the game of Vipers going past the Iganga side yesterday, he has also not been there for training for about 4, 5, 6 days. So for the fact that they've said he's sick, we should wait and see for the official reports over any other team that actually he's been linked to unveiling him. And rumors has it that he could be linked to, I think, a Chetme or something of that sort that I am not quite sure of. But for now, let's treat that as a rumor. And I personally believe in that if he does not appear in for trainings and for the game that was in there yesterday, for the fact that they've tagged sickness to it, we should buy time and give some little time to the whole rumor. Initially, it will be unveiled.
Okay, and that's one big thing that we should be looking into, and of course a very, very tight game we should be expecting. But of course, outstanding for that is Team Vipers, that they performed well without their head coach still, but they tried pushing that to make it to effort to go to the next level. It adds in value right there. So we will be taking a break. When we come back, we shall be discussing a few of the internationals before we say bye-bye to you who is watching right there on that is the channels right through wherever you're catching the show right from. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still another interesting one now. Of course, a good story coming in from the West Nile, of course, a team or West Nile player. I'm talking about Mo Shaban. According to reports coming in from local papers, it indicates that this player has been linked with different countries or moved to different countries, and of course one of them happens to be, of course, the team of Gor Mahia in Kenya, and you have also the Yanga FC of that is Tanzania, whom of course he has been linked with. Of course, Shaban has 11 goals right now. They are on the top scorer chart. Of course, him, Mehdi, and of course trying to fight it with Nelson Senkatuka. All in all, those are some of the big things coming right there. Very good one and positive energy for that is Mo Shaban, who is said to be one of the key figures right into the team of KCCA. Now, Gor Mahia and Yanga, where would you prefer this player to go to?
The both sides, of course, have entered into there is a race to see that they actually getting the signatures of the young man Mohamed Shaban, 26 years, who plays, who is a forward for there is a case there. To me, I think he needed to go to Yanga, and his contract with KCA comes to an end in about some 3 months to come. There is a period to the closure over this season. StarTimes Uganda Premier League season 2023-2024. But then the rumors coming through from sources are closely linked to there is a Mohamed Shaban, who say he is of course focusing on to renewing his contract with the current club that he is playing for. Well, there is a case here. So basically the two that are chasing him, Gor Mahia and Yanga, might end up sinking in to there is the trenches, because I think I still wants to give him more time for playing for KCA after the 3 months over the contract elapsed, and basically that will come through if KCA is interested in giving him a contract extension. But if KCA does not come through to give him a contract extension, I think to me Yanga would be a better option compared to there is Gor Mahia.
Now, someone was telling me who are trying to debate, won't his wife again become a problem because the wife is a Tanzanian and someone from TZ, so you could be seeing one or two issues for focus purposes, for thinking about loud. Don't you think it would be best for him probably to get to that? But it depends on, by either way, the juicy deal. Which deal is the best is where a player has to go. I don't think he should just go because of certain things. So that's one big thing we are waiting for. But all in all, I think it's a very big one. These are two big entities right there. If you look at Tor Rashid is playing for Police in, of course, Kenya. You have the Khalid Awuchos who are playing for the Simbas. So very, very competitive. I would say Tanzania would be one of the biggest options. But of course, who is willing to offer more? Is the question. that would be coming right there. Now we go away from there and get to the Champions League. Yesterday, Real Madrid had to hold a 1-1 all draw with RB Leipzig right there. Of course, a chance that you could be expecting maybe Madrid, but of course they advanced to the next level because they were 1-0 winners in the first round. Second round meant just a walkover. We're waiting for next week for Arsenal's encounter with the FC Porto, but of course we did talk about Bayern Munich yesterday again, who also overturned their results. So for yesterday, you did see Madrid getting it there. Did you expect a draw from the Madrid game?
I actually expected Madrid to go past. There is RB Leipzig, but then that one all draw basically showed to you that the other team, there is RB Leipzig, went down to, of course, prepare in fully for there is Madrid, where now the aggregate, of course, remained on 2-1, of course, favoring the team that had earlier on won their game. And then for Bayern and Lazio, on aggregate 3-1, basically we also saw Bayern pushing through. There is a past Lazio in 3-1. And then another interesting game was for Man City and Copenhagen.
Yes, Man City ran riot after Erling Braut Haaland first half sealed it. 3, of course, goals right there for Manchester City, and that's one big thing that we will be expecting. You don't have to leave Man City out in this race up to the finals. Of course, they are one of the teams that are also trying to put encounter over the games that are coming in there. I think this time the Champions League is getting interesting because of one or two things that probably are pushing and propelling in there. So we're waiting for next week and see what exactly comes. But all in all, Manchester United after Gareth Southgate, and of course the coach is also one big one now. Talks about this coach, I don't always love it because of one thing. He does not give me the morale of the game, because the Three Lions have never won anything into the hands of Gareth Southgate. Will this be a good move for that is Gareth Southgate to Manchester United?
Manchester United, by the way, is now starting to have a lot of issues when it comes to the coaching department. Initially, I remember we also discussed something about there is Graham, and to me, I didn't see Graham fitting in, being the right person to, of course, fitting in that very position of Erik ten Hag. But then now, the rumors that are also coming in up front, basically, I think Manchester United has to do a lot of research to see to it that they get a very perfect replacement, someone who can fit in like the likes of the Sir Alex Ferguson did during those glory days of Manchester United. But the current people that actually they are targeting, the current people that actually they are looking into as coaches for replacement of Erik ten Hag, to me, I really don't see in a lot of potential in these people that can actually come in right now to help Manchester United to get out of the ditch that they are fallen in.
Okay, that's one big thing that we are aiming, but of course that story is already out about whether the coach they want to bring is going to be one of the key names that are probably in there, because there's Diaby, who is also in the list. So there are a couple of names, but Manchester United are looking forward to see that they get in there. Now, Kylian Mbappe, the replacement is said to be Rashford, but PSG has rubbished that and they're saying no, it is not Rashford they're going for in the summer.
Rashford, to me, cannot be, of course, a proper replacement for Kylian Mbappe. Basically, I'm not rubbishing off for there is a Rashford before his friends come for my neck. Basically, if you look at the two, the type of play is completely very different. To me, Kylian Mbappe is quite more faster than Rashford and more creative than Rashford. So I think PSG coming through to rubbish off of the rumors is quite a very good one, because Rashford cannot sit in properly in the position that Kylian Mbappe has been holding down at PSG, and I think basically they are still looking in for a very perfect match for there is a Kylian Mbappe in there is the transfers that could be in a short while pulling through.
Yeah, it's a very big one. We're waiting to see what exactly will be coming right there. But all in all, there's also a rumor about Barcelona still wanting to get holds of Mikel Arteta as their next coach.
Barcelona getting in Mikel Arteta is Arsenal ready to there is losing him down to there is Barcelona. I think Barcelona should basically be also getting in another option aside from there is Mikel Arteta, because I think currently his focus is into winning in a few of the trophies. There is some of the leagues that are actually he is taking part in, and the most that actually seems to come at his grip is the EPL trophy. But then we've all seen how tight the race is. It's all a 1-1-1 from the top three down here to there is Liverpool, Manchester City, and then Arsenal down here. So basically Barcelona coming in for him. It could be it could work out, and it couldn't equally also work out. And but for Barcelona, they actually have they're in sheer needs of a very good coach that can actually pull them through from whatever it is that they are going through. We all know Barcelona is not performing so well.
Exactly, Barcelona is not performing all that well, and they're looking forward to see who to bring. Xabi Alonso, the names that are mentioned, couple of names that they have tried putting into that is the list to see that they get themselves right there. But all in all, things are not working well for them. So we shall be expecting a lot from that is team Barcelona, and see what comes through in there. Now, of course, leaving that there, Chelsea are willingly to sell the man by the names of Marc Cucurella, who has been one of the names that they bought in the summer, but of course has done nothing yet to the team so much, all the time in the sick bay, and of course most of the times he is surplus to requirement according to the coach right there. Now, what next for Marc Cucurella, and where? United had talked of him in the January transfer. Remember, in the summer they also talked about him when they wanted to bring somebody immediately to replace the injured Luke Shaw. But Cucurella, versatile he is, and maybe this could not be his destination.
Marc Cucurella is very versatile. He's a creative player, and by the way, he could be a very good add-on into any other team he comes to. But him being injury prone, I think basically is one fact that actually is limiting him, or it's one fact that actually is getting him down from there is his versatility and all that. Because if you look at Cucurella, he is one guy that actually is very fast, and every other team, of course, basically would want to go in for him. But the teams then bow out and bow down basically when the injury bit of it comes through.
All right. Probably lastly, in our of course our card here is about West Ham. David Moyes is fighting so much for West Ham to get the man by the names of Marcus Ruiz. Ruiz has been a player in the Borussia Dortmund team, very key element, and of course probably a player who has worked so hard for this couple of years for that is the team of BVB. But all in all, 34 years of age is what he is, and he has done a lot to make sure that things change from here to there. Would this be a good addition into the team? He has made over 415 appearances in 12 years at that is Borussia Dortmund right there, scoring 167 goals and 128 assists that he has made for the team right there. Would this be a very good deal to come and maybe package his retirement? But English Premier League is competitive.
English Premier League is very competitive, and it needs in a lot of energy here and there. If you look at the age, I could say his age is quite gone, but we've equally seen players doing very well at his age coming through to English Premier League. But the English Premier League's energy and the competition could, by the way, outweigh him. So I think Moyes should literally review that, but it could equally also be a very good one, a very good challenge to take up into coming through to retire from the other league into there is the English Premier League.
This season marks the end of his contract, but of course he's being linked with a move to West Ham, and the way forward is already there. And then of course Mönchengladbach is another one. Borussia Mönchengladbach is a team that he came from, and probably is willingly a potential return to that team. But what about the Turkish side that is Trabzonspor, that also interested in this very player to be one over their key names right there? That is what we had for you today, and we want to say that of course have a very blessed day. It's been nice having you on the show. You can always be part of it every time from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Of course, Owen Ezaga, Linda Swizzy. For today we give you all the wrap up, and more are still to come right there for tomorrow's edition, which is going to be a Women's Day, and probably be a special person to be or to be able to hold that is the Women's Day right there. A very good afternoon. Have a very blessed day.